Live Hangouts on the air. Welcome everybody to the, what is this? How about a Network Marketing Insider Series, number 254 by two cool IBOs here, John and Paul. And this Own Your Life Newopday, May 2nd, 2016. What is this? Let's see here. How does that work? It goes January, February, March, April, May. Okay, we still got 2 more months. 2 more months, and this year's already half over. Already half over, guys. You got to get out there, get on the stick, and start making it happen. Or the next thing you know, 2017 is going to look just like 2016, or 15, or 14, or 13, or 12, 11, 10, 9. Oh my God. Hey, did you know that by the time you take out all the time you spend sleeping, and all the time you spend working, and all the time you spend commuting to work, and all the time you spend running around after work and on the weekends doing all that stuff that has to get done, that at the end of the day, most people have like 1 or maybe 2 hours for themselves to do the kind of things that they like to do. And even if they had more time to do it, you think they'd have the money? Well, guess what? We got a way for you to own your life again by starting a home-based business that is so simple that anybody can do it. It does not involve any selling, and the best part of all, doesn't take very much of your time. Okay, so I don't suppose there's anybody out there that that might be interested in something like that. I don't know, just asking. So anyway, I just want to say good day to everybody, all of you network marketers, you people that are in Swissco Global, people that are in ACN, people that are in I don't know, Legal Shield, Bebri, whatever network marketing organization you're in. You're in the right place here today, especially you guys who are looking for something a way to make some money, a way to get some passive income, a way to change your life, a way to own your life, a way to get some freedom back, some time back, and have some money to enjoy it with. That's what we do here on Newopdays. We study this Own Your Life Plan book. You guys are I don't care if you're already in network marketing, you're going to want to know what's in this book, because this is how you get all those things out of your network marketing business. And with that, I just want to say welcome to Mr. John Leister, who is my Swissco Global upline man. And how we doing today, John?
I'm doing fantastic today. It is a new op day, new opportunity. And as Paul said, doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're in network marketing, you should be here on this hangout, listening to us discuss this book right here, participating, leaving comments, sending us emails and contact information, whatnot, what have you. Because like Paul said, it doesn't matter if you're with Vivri, Swissco Global, Isogenics, Herbalife, Jeunesse. We could go on and on. It all comes down to one thing: the proper way to build a network marketing organization and the system for doing that. That happens to be what we're discussing right here. So it's an opportunity for all you network marketers to pick up a fresh tidbit of information, a little gold nugget, if you will, that you can turn around and immediately begin applying to and growing your network marketing business. So with that, I'm hanging out here live from Phoenix, sitting in my office, kind of barren shelves behind me, trying to set it up as we were starting to hang out with some stuff. But this is a sign of growth. Paul and I recently got a new office space back in April, but that's not what this hangout's really about. It's about owning your life. Own your life.
I like the Woody. I like the Woody. Looks great in the background. So yes, here we are. Well, you know what? Hey, if you're watching us here, let us know where you're hanging out from. We'd love to know where you guys are hanging out from. Hit the chat button, ask us some questions, whatever you want to do. So here we go. Own Your Life Plan, the right way to build your network marketing organization. We're into now chapter number 13, which is playing with the numbers to make a point. What does that mean? Playing with the numbers to make a point. Well, by the time you get to chapter 13 with if you're following this plan and if you're progressing along with the book and you're up to chapter 13 now in your building of your organization here, you're going to have at least one or maybe two people, maybe all five of your people sponsored, your direct people sponsored. And the interesting thing about that is now that, maybe let's say you've got all five people in your organization that are your direct five. You're looking at this now, you're looking at your five people, and you now kind of have, a little bit of power to wield over your five people, really bring out the power behind network marketing and what can possibly be achieved here by playing with the numbers here to make a point. And you get to kind of maybe choose which one of your five. Obviously you're probably going to look at your five people and maybe try to figure out, not just say, hey man, this guy's my buddy, I'm going to work with him. Maybe try to figure out, which person's really the most prepared and ready to take, to have this, to go through this next step, so to speak. And so this one's really showing the power now of, once you've got, a couple of your five or all of your five or whatever into a position where they no longer need you. Okay. And if you have a question about where that is, you can go back and look at chapter 9 in the book, and you'll see that'll point out to where your downline gets to the point where, hey, they don't really need you anymore. But you want them to stay active. You want them to stay working and building, their business, which is obviously building your business. So that's what's really cool about this particular chapter, because it really now shows some powerful exploding numbers that these guys can, they were excited first about 2 times 2 is 4. Let's get them excited about 6 times 6. What do you think about that?
Totally, Paul. I'm just getting myself situated here. Sorry, I ran in the office a little bit late this morning. So why don't you get into that a little bit here, since I'm just getting myself opened up to chapter 13 about playing with the numbers to make a point, and why 6 now, why people get excited about that after learning about the 5 times 5.
Well, because they're in the position right now, like I said, they're in the position right now, your people are in the position where they're sponsoring their own people. They've got at least 3 in their downline. Maybe they've got their 5 already by now. And so the person that you sponsored in is sitting back going, well, hey, I did all my work. I got all 5 of my people here. They're pretty much kind of on their way. What am I going to do now? This is a way to reignite those guys and come back and say, hey, look, I want to show you something. Look at this little dealio right here that says, there we go, get a light up. Get some light on that. Where's the light at? It was there a second ago. I don't know. Well, you got 5, your standard 5 times 5 times 5. And then you go and say, let's look at what adding one more person. Now that you've got your 5 people, they're all working, they're all doing it, they don't need you very much. Let's look at what happens if you start a new leg. Yeah, let's start a whole new leg. Let's start a 6th. And now we have 5 times 5 is 25. We have 6 times 6 is 36. And 5 times 5 is 125. And 6 times 6 is 291. And you start out, of course, with, hey, you know what? Remember how 2 times 2 was 4 and 3 times 3 and the difference was only 1? Well, 5 and 6, the difference is only 1 again. One more leg. Let's go here. And then you go, you work to 25 and what's the next number there? 125. And you show the difference of multiplying the 6s, and you look at the difference, how the difference grows from 1 to 11 to 91. And then what he says here to do is that now that you've shown that difference in just what that one person makes and adding that powerful number to your organization, then you go and you add in 4 more numbers in the 6 times 6. You can go ahead and add these right here in for your person there, so they can see what those numbers are in the 5 times 5 column. And he makes it easy because if you notice, the end 3 numbers, they rotate from 625 to 125. They just go back and forth. So all you got to do really is remember the 1, what is it, the 1, the 13, and the 1, oh no, I'm sorry, the 3, the 15, and the 78. Yeah, the 3, the 15, and the 78 there. And then you just switch it back and forth. 3, 125, 15, 625, 78, 125. But anyway, so you have those numbers there showing them how big the 5 times 5 gets. And you've still only got these 3 here numbers plus plus the added fives. So now you hand over the paper and you have your person say, here, do the math on this 6 times 6, and you let them do the 6 times 6 and see the difference of 621 there. That's or 671. So that jumps hugely from 91 to 671. And then when you're at this point, instead of going further, ask them right now when they just did the next one and they're at 671, say, what do you think the difference is when you get here down to level 7? And write in their number, whatever they think it is, because they're going to be probably pretty impressed when it gets to the next number.
I'm playing with that number right now on my calculator.
You knew you were because you're the numbers guy, and I figured you'd be ready to pop that one out any second.
It sounds so ridiculous, but it's wait, total. Oh, okay, yes. The next number is actually 7,776 because now you're training you're on your 5, training them to train the 6th.
Right.
So if you've got 1,296 in your organization and they each bring in 6, that's 7,776.
It's crazy how the difference is larger than the actual number. You know what I mean?
On this particular one, it almost is.
Well, it starts out with 125. It gets bigger. Oh no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. It starts out with the one that you just did, or not the one that I just talked about, the 625. With 6, you've got 1,295, and the difference is 675. So the difference there, jumps. Now it's larger than how many you have completely in that first number 5 column. And you just said 7,000, which is almost double the 3,000 number. And then you get to 15, it's probably going to be like, what, 5 times the number or something? I don't know. It's crazy.
But, they have a little cheat guide to say, bottom line, when you look at it and you get down to the level over here where you do 5 and you go 7 layers deep to where you have 78,125, the difference becomes 201,811.
Yeah. I know, it's huge. It's like who would, when you're at the 671, somebody would probably guess, oh, I don't know, maybe what, 20,000, maybe 50,000, not 200,000. By just adding one more person, one more leg, building out one more leg to your business. So, and then what this goes on to say here is, I don't know, I'm not going to read through this. I'm going to kind of jump back to the back page a little bit, because the difference here now, I don't know. Unfortunately, I was busy studying something else last night and I totally forgot to read this chapter. So
hey, we're studying it now.
Yep, exactly. So all you have to do to play this game is teach your people to go 3 deep. When you, oh, excuse me, about to sneeze. God, oh, sorry. I sponsor Steve. I see, hey, when getting a new sponsor started, the most important thing you can teach them is to make sure when they sponsor someone, get them 3 deep as soon as possible. That's the whole key, is just getting people 3 deep. Once they're 3 deep and they don't need you anymore, that's where the power comes in. That's where this whole thing, that's where your organization starts to build and grow. That's where you've got the options to, I'm 3 deep. Realistically, you probably want to continue working with your people until you've gotten all 5 of them themselves 3 deep, and you've got your 5 and they got their 5 and they're all 3 deep as well too, before you really start moving on and looking to build your next leg there. But before they even know about it, this will automatically bring napkin presentation number 9 on motivation into play. And that's kind of cool because it just it reversed back in this book to another chapter earlier that we talked about that just like reignites these guys. And it's like, oh yeah, we got to get going on this. Look what we can do. Important that you'll never make a network marketing until you teach someone else how to make it. Again, these are just, this is all just reiterations of the earlier chapters here. Until you teach somebody else how to do network marketing the way that you were taught how to do network marketing, you're never going to make it in this business.
That's the key right there. Another important piece of this chapter, really, the chapter is really about playing with these numbers to make a point of the difference one more makes. However, it's reiterating points from other chapters to bring in the overall concept to this network marketing model working is going deep, not going wide. Again, you're never going to sponsor. Let's just say you got 5 people and you get 7 layers deep. That gives you 78,125 people in your network marketing organization. If you weren't building deep by only working with 5 people, it would be literally impossible for you to have enough time in your life to individually work with and train 78,125 people. Again, it's not about 78,125 people. It's about 5 and training them to go 3 deep, right as it says in this chapter, because then once they go 3 deep, you're duplicated. They can now go and find their 6th person or continue to train themselves to get their 3 layers deep. However, it's all about that teaching and training and building quality people rather than building a quantity of people. And the quantity will naturally follow behind the quality of the training.
Yes, you are now on your own. Multiply, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, now he gets into, taking these numbers, and he just stops at the 625 mark. Now, instead of going all the way out to that 78,000 with the difference of 201,000 people that you've added into your organization, he stops at that 625 mark, which is 1, 2, 5 levels deep, where you have a difference of 671 people, which in all actuality, when you add all that up, now you've added in 774 people into your organization. That's the difference in, well, I'm sorry, no, you've added in, yeah, no, that's what you've added in, which realistically, if you look at, what you did with 5 at that level, you added in 780 people into your organization right here. So just by adding one more person, when you get 5 deep, you've pretty much doubled the size of your organization. Just by adding one more person and taking that leg 5 levels deep, you double what you did with 5 people getting this thing started, with 5 legs going, with just by adding one more person. That's pretty big, powerful number right there. When somebody sees, whoa, wait a second, I did all that work, I got all these 5 people, I got all the way to here, and now I just add one more and I take this 5 levels deep and I double this organization. Heck yeah, let's go.
Because then once you know what the trick is here, the people underneath you, by the time you get to that point where you're going to go and find your 6th person, you've already got 5 activated, 3 layers deep with, with 5 people underneath each of them. So when you go out and find your 6th, guess what you're doing and how these numbers get so astronomical? You're now taught and trained your 5 that you guys are 3 levels deep now. Now it's time for you to find your 6th and train everyone down line to find their 6th while you're out finding your 6th. And then that's how we get these astronomical numbers, because you've already got your 5. You're just implementing this as a new piece of the training equation. It's actually amazing.
That's just taking the next step. He goes into the final page here of talking about including the customers, the people that are just buying your product or service or whatnot, and how big those numbers get by adding one. I'm not going to get into all of that. That's just extra fluff. I mean, it's a lot of money. Trust me. I mean, there's nothing fluffy about the money unless you stuff it into a pillowcase and sleep on it at night. It could be pretty fluffy, but But like John was just saying, the whole idea of now that you've built, we start off talking about building an organization with 5 people, and that's all you have to do. But then, once you've gotten your people in that situation where they've done that, then people might sort of want to have a tendency to slow down a little bit. So this is sort of a way to reignite them into saying, oh, wait a second. I don't want to just sit back and rest right now. I built this, this team of 5 that has built out and they're doing their thing, et cetera, and so on. Man, if I just go one more, and here's the interesting thing too. You built 5 people. You got, all these customers and clients. By the time you get to this point, out of all the, associated people to your 5, just to your 5, not even going to their level, you're probably going to have somebody right there chomping at the bit, pulling at your, coattails, saying, hey, show me. I want to do this. So you probably have your 6th coming to you by this time, opposed to you having to actually go out and find somebody else. And even if you don't have somebody that's actually just right there tugging and saying, hey, let's do this, you'll probably find that person within the people that you have. So it's not something that you're going to have to work really hard at, again, at this point in time. So with that, guys, hey, we've gotten through this next chapter here. Kind of stumbled our way through it, but you get the point. You got the picture. We'll get into chapter 14 next Newopday, and I'm just going to toss it back over to John for a final thought here and to close this thing out today.
Well, my final thought really is just considering that the main thing here, the main point overall to this chapter is continually to build the downline rather than building a wide front line. There's no reason for that. And when you do get that point where you can train your 5 people to get 3 levels deep so that now you're duplicated, frees you up to go find just one more person. And as you find that person, bring them on and train them to do what you just trained the other 5 to do. And heck, you don't even have to wait till you've trained all 5 of your people to get 3 deep. You just need to duplicate yourself once, so then you can move on to focusing your majority of your time with the 6th. And then train the rest of your team to do it when the time's appropriate. And you'll double your, as Paul showed here in these napkin presentations, you'll double the size of your organization just by adding and teaching others to do the same thing you're doing throughout this whole process, throughout this system, by adding one more. So with that, we always end these hangouts with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to build a more powerful downline so that I can control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire." With that, go have a great day. We'll see you back here on Wisdom Wednesday.
And that, everybody, is how you play the multiplication game, opposed to bringing in so many people that you can't even work with anyway and playing the add and subtract game. I think I like multiplication better. All right. See you guys back here on Wisdom Wednesday. Have a great